Hi, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers and slowfoodrenaissance.com. Today we're doing another recipe. This is day, I think 5 of our wonderful recipes that we're doing. And with each recipe, what we've done with the 5 high quality Italian olive oils that we've studied and compared and things like that, we chose recipes that go along perfectly with that particular olive oil. So it was a little bit of a thought process because some of the recipes that we just throw in with low quality olive oil and make, you can just make them across the boards. But you know, it gets a little more technically exciting with these ones because some of them are super flavorful and some of them you really want to showcase out front and you have to tweak your ingredients a little bit to do that. So that's what we did with like the Papa Vince and the Paisano and stuff. Oh, recipes were so great when we did those. Today we are doing Laudemia Frescobaldi, and what we love about Laudemia Frescobaldi is it is subtle. It is like, I put in my book, you know, a little analogy about if you're at a cocktail party and all these olive oils showed up, you know, personified, Papa Vince would be the life of the party, right? He'd be telling the jokes, he'd be, you know, just bringing everybody up and making everybody happy. The Lamicia would be like right next to him, you know, egging him on and winking at the ladies. The Laudemia would be perfectly turned out, lounging against the wall, watching everything go on, perfect refinement, and he would be drinking a martini shaken and not stirred. That's how classy this one is. Subtle, refined, very, very nice. So what we decided to do today is we're going to do these polenta stacks. And I kind of got a little bit this idea from Gino's Italian Escape, which is, I was watching that the other day, and he made like a really cool stack with polenta and a bunch of different vegetables and things like that. And I'm like, oh, well, I love that idea. I'm going to put my own spin on it. I'm going to take the polenta and I'm going to fry it in our super high quality olive oil, you know, with breadcrumbs and stuff. And I'm going to kick it up that way. And then we're going to have a mixture of poblano peppers and chicken and a little bit of onion and some chili pepper oil or some kind of condiment that I haven't really settled on just yet, but I will let you know. And obviously you'll see me making it. So what I have here is I have polenta. And there's a couple ways you can go about this. If you're in a big rush, you can go to the supermarket and buy it in a tube. It's you know, processed and whatnot, but it works. And frankly, if you fry it in this olive oil, it's going to be delicious anyway. Now, if you want to make your own polenta, you just get a package of the polenta that you buy in the store. I think ours is Red Valley or something like that. Follow the directions. You have to stir it the whole time while it's cooking or it'll get all lumpy and stuff. So it takes a little bit of time. Then what you want to do is spread it out on a cookie sheet with, hopefully you can find some parchment and put parchment underneath. Spread it on a cookie sheet, put it in the fridge and let it get a little bit firm. You can see these are a little bit firm. Okay? And then what you do is just take a glass or whatever and just chunk, 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 and you got your little polenta rounds. Okay, then I have some flour that I added garlic salt and pepper. And what you do is you just kind of mix it around here until you can smell the garlic a little bit. And then you go, okay, that's fine. It's seasoned just perfectly. All right, so that's our flour mixture. Then we have egg, just basically 1 egg that I am going to whisk. And we are going to coat our polenta circles. And then I have breadcrumbs. These are gluten-free breadcrumbs. You can use whatever breadcrumbs you want. These are seasoned with Italian seasoning and stuff like that. I like these a lot. So we're going to start by dumping our little guys in the flour and coating them pretty good. Get a nice coating on them. All right. And then we're going to kind of coat them with some egg wash. I'm going to turn my oil back on. It got a little bit too hot. You want to make sure it doesn't get too hot because it's going to start to smoke. But you also want to make sure it's hot enough that these aren't going to sit in there and just sponge up the oil like little polenta sponges, which would not be nice. All right. Okay, got some egg on it. Now I'm going to put it in the breadcrumbs. Yum, yum, yum. One of my favorite things. I have to tell you something delicious that that I love in southern Italy when I'm there. In Calabria, they have so many little fried things. They're whatever is delicious, they fry. One of them is called arancina, which means orange. And arancina is rice, and it's in a ball or a pear shape generally. that has been rolled up and then it's been rolled in breadcrumbs just like this and fried. Ugh, best thing ever. So I'm going to check my oil and make sure it's hot. I'm just going to put a little bit of the egg in here and see what happens. Ooh, not quite. Okay, so I'm going to heat this oil up and I'm going to fry these puppies and then I'll be back. Okay, good. So I've got the oil in the pan here and I've done these little beauties up perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and cook them now. It's a little bit of a trick. You want to make sure the oil's hot enough to cook everything, but not so hot that it starts to smoke. So it's kind of a tricky little thing. You got to really keep your eye on it here. So we got these guys going. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. And they are going to cook for a little bit. What I want is a nice brown, crusty finish on both sides. It's going to be so delicious. So it's going to take a few minutes. So I'll see you in a bit. Hi guys, we're back. Okay, so we fried up our little guys. Look at how good they look. Oh my gosh. They smell amazing. Ooh, I don't want to dump them on myself. They smell amazing. These are going to be our little, sort of the breads for our sandwich, our little toasts, okay? So now we're going to make the filling. And what I have here is I have some sun-dried tomatoes, which I used in one of the other dishes earlier. So good. I have some red onions, kind of chopped a little bit so they're not like little tiny chunks, but enough so you get them. And some poblano peppers here. These are cut into like little strips. I don't like them to be so long that you have to wedge them in your mouth with your fork. It's just not good. Now, poblano peppers look like this. In California, we have them. I don't know if you can get them all over the place, but this is a medium spicy pepper, not super duper spicy, but it has this really sharp, not really sharp, but a almost sharp little bitterness that with a really peppery flavor, and I just love them so much. We eat these all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this started here. Warm up my pan a little bit. Not too hot, because it is a bit of a trick using high quality olive oil and not getting it to smoke. So I'm going to put some of our Laudemia in here. Laudemio. Just enough. We want that flavor and all the goodness that goes with it. We'll let that heat up for a minute. Okay, good. And okay, so we've got the pan hot enough. I've got one of my little sacrificial sun-dried tomatoes in there to let me know once it starts bubbling. What I did with these is I drained them really good. They come in oil, which is great because it's delicious, but I don't want their oil covering up our oil. So I drained them really good before I tossed them in the pan. Now, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get this sun-dried tomato to infuse its essence into the oil. And I can smell it already. It's so good. Oh my gosh. This smell is amazing. Okay, so those are on their way. I'm gonna dump in the onions and get those going as well. And we got a little too hot, so I'm going to put that down a bit. And the peppers. And I'm going to fry these all up together so they make a delicious thing. Now, a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. Well, a lot of pepper. Fry, fry, fry. Everybody's happy. Look at them in there. I have never seen a happier bunch of guys. Toward the end, I'm going to put this corn and some chicken in. These are already cooked, so I'm not going to toss them in just yet. So we'll be back in a minute when these are starting to get all beautifully fried up. Yeah, so this is starting to cook, I'm trying to get these chili peppers to be nice and soft, you know? They're just so sweet and soft and a little kick of bitterness in the end when you've done. Now, I wanted to talk about frying at high temperatures. Now, these oils that you have here, you probably don't want to fry at super high temperatures. Deep frying in a vat calls for what's called pomace oil. But don't get pomace oil for regular use. Basically, it's whatever's left over after the first and second pressings. And what they do is they use solvents, possibly chemicals, and heat to extract the last little bit. Usually it's flavorless because it doesn't have a lot of oil solids in it, and that's fine for super high frying in vats. That's actually what you want, because if there's too much oil solids in it, it's going to smoke and it's going to break down and everything else. So for deep frying in vats and things like that, pomace oil is probably what you want. But this, if you're careful, you can do it. I mean, this is a real high quality olive oil. You do have to watch a little bit, turn it down if it starts looking like it's getting a little too hot. I think I got it on just the right temperature now, and really look at this. This is just amazing. So now I'm gonna dump in my chicken. Basically I used, you know, I go to the store and get the rotisserie chickens because I'm lazy. But if you go to the right store, like we have a, what's called New Horizons market around the corner, and they have super high-end, really good chicken. So I'm gonna go ahead and, whoops, I'm gonna throw it all over the kitchen, is what I'm gonna do. It's looking a little dry. Gives me the opportunity to put in a little more Laudemia. On the side, heat it up. Heat it up. Okay, that's all getting hot, good. Mix it together. Now, what you could do if you wanted to, you can put in a little bit of what's called peperoncino dolce, which is chili peppers, but they're sweet peppers, like a paprika. It's sort of the same thing as paprika. We get peperoncino dolce in our village and in our supermarkets and things like that. Okay, that's looking real good. Now, corn. You know, I'm gonna put in a little peperoncino dolce because it looks a little bit like it could use something else. Now, as you can see, Pete and I, when we go to Italy, we stock up because we can't find the good stuff here. So I want just a teeny tad. I'm gonna pull it out. A little pinchy pinch. There we go. Look at how red that is. Oh my goodness. Looks like I was finger painting with blood. All right, that's gonna go over here. Just so I don't stain everything. Oh, that looks amazing. Can you see this? Look at, wait, look at. Woohoo! Yummy. Oh yeah, that is the stuff right there. Okay, good. Now, I've got my filling here. I'm gonna turn off the heat because it's all done. Make sure I got all my ingredients. I did. Okay, good. I am gonna plate this now. Now, I mean, you can stack this and it would be lovely, but since I'm gonna stuff it like way too much, I'm gonna kind of put it on its side like this. So I'm gonna have one of these fork and I'm gonna just scoop up a whole bunch of this stuff. And I'm gonna put it on the top and around the edge. Just pile, pile, pile. Yum, yum, yum. And you know what? I'm not gonna scrimp on this stuff, or skimp. What is it, skimp or scrimp? I think it's skimp. Now I'm gonna put the other one right here. Ooh, look it! I'm gonna put some more of this yummy stuff in here. Ooh, yeah. Just a ton of good stuff. I mean, when you talk about health benefits, first of all, you get this amazing olive oil, right? Which is so healthy. It's a good fat, and we love good fats. Oh, I'm just gonna, oh yeah, that looks so good. Okay, I don't wanna waste any of this, but probably gonna eat this all later. Anyway, now here's our last little guy. Now let's make it look all nice. Good. Okay, now, because I love this stuff so much, I'm gonna do a little side dish of our olive oil right here. And since I'm a slave to this Papa Vince Balsamic Vinegar Glaze, I'm gonna put it inside. Just a little bit because it's really sweet. But then we can dip it, or we can dip our forks in it, we can do whatever we want to. And we got the chili pepper plate, which tells everybody what it's all about. And we've got this wonderful plate here with our little stack, which we did not stack, and frankly, I don't know that it would stack, but it lays out just beautifully right here. So, oh, I wanted to put in a plug. Okay, so we bought this in Italy. I don't know if you can get it here. I'm gonna see if I can get it and put it on Amazon or find something similar. This is Fattoria Sila Crema di Peperoncino. It says in tiny letters, picante. Let me tell you something, I stuck my finger in it and just went, oh. It is so hot. If you love really hot stuff, look for this. This is just blow your head right off. It's amazing. Anyway, I am not going to put that anywhere near my food because I don't want to suffer what I suffered just now. But enjoy this stack. You can use all kinds of stuff for the innards on this. You can put tomatoes in there. You can put all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and eat this right now, and I'll be back for our last recipe. Oh wait, don't go. So Pete and I just ate the stack, and it was so good. And we were just kind of dipping it. You know, we had our little thing with the olive oil and the balsamico, or the balsamic vinegar glaze, Papa Vince. And that was amazing. And we were like, okay, what if you made a dressing with it and drizzled it over, or just a little bit of this on one side and a little of your balsamic on the other. The thing is, I didn't want it to all go in the middle, because then it'll be super saturated. So what you can do, which would also be very, very nice, is just to make a little dressing with this. So you pour in your Laudemia, and then just a little bit at a time. This stuff is really, really sweet, but it has such a beautiful flavor. I would put in a little mix it, taste, put in a little mix it, taste, and then drizzle that whole thing over your stack. I think that would kick it up to even a higher notch. Although we really enjoyed dipping it. Like if you take a little piece of your disc, you know, your polenta disc, and you dredge it right in the olive oil, and you get that olivey amazingness. It's unbelievable. So there's various different ways to serve this and various different ways to eat it. Play with it, have fun, and do recipes like it on your own. And I think you're going to have a great time with this particular olive oil and with this particular balsamic vinegar glaze. So see you later.